Have you ever wondered about the secrets lurking behind the closed doors of your roommate's room? The eerie sounds that echo through the walls at night, the strange behaviors that send chills down your spine, or the unsettling feeling of being watched when you're alone. What if I told you that some roommate experiences go beyond the realm of normalcy, plunging into the depths of true horror? Brace yourself as we delve into 3 bone-chilling tales of roommates whose presence turned into a nightmare. The haunting of apartment 13. It was supposed to be the perfect living situation for Sarah, a cozy apartment in the heart of the city, shared with 3 other roommates. Little did she know that her life was about to take a terrifying turn. Sarah's first encounter with the unsettling presence in apartment 13 occurred during her 2nd week of moving in. She was alone one evening, engrossed in a book, when she heard faint whispers coming from the adjacent room. At first, she brushed it off as her imagination playing tricks on her, but the whispers grew louder, more distinct, as if someone was having a conversation just beyond the wall. Unable to ignore it any longer, Sarah knocked on the door of apartment 13, hoping to confront her roommate and put an end to the strange noises. No response. She tried the handle, but the door was locked tight. Feeling a chill run down her spine, Sarah retreated to her room, convinced that her mind was playing tricks on her. But the whispers persisted night after night, growing louder and more insistent. Sarah's sleep became fractured, her nerves frayed. She started seeing shadows flit across the hallway when no one else was around, and objects in her room inexplicably moved from their original places. Desperate for answers, Sarah confided in her other roommates about the eerie occurrences. To her horror, they revealed that apartment 13 had been vacant for months before she moved in. No one had lived there, at least not in the physical realm. Determined to uncover the truth, Sarah decided to investigate the history of the apartment building. What she discovered sent shivers down her spine. Apartment 13 had been the site of a tragic murder-suicide decades ago. The tormented spirits of the victims were said to still haunt the premises, searching for peace in the afterlife. As Sarah delved deeper into the mystery, the activity in apartment 13 escalated. Doors slammed shut on their own, eerie whispers turned into blood-curdling screams, and Sarah felt an unseen presence watching her every move. In a last-ditch effort to rid the apartment of its malevolent inhabitants, Sarah sought the help of a paranormal investigator. Together they performed a cleansing ritual, banishing the spirits from apartment 13 once and for all. But even as the whispers faded into silence, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that something sinister still lurked in the shadows, waiting to reclaim its territory. The unhinged roommate. Moving into a new apartment is always an exciting experience, but for Jack, it quickly turned into a nightmare he couldn't escape. From the moment Jack's new roommate, Mark, stepped through the door, something felt off. There was a darkness in his eyes, a predatory gleam that sent a shiver down Jack's spine. But he brushed off his unease, chalking it up to nerves about living with the stranger. As weeks turned into months, Jack noticed increasingly bizarre behavior from Mark. He would often disappear for days on end, only to return with a manic gleam in his eyes and a wild story on his lips. Jack tried to ignore the warning signs, but he couldn't shake the feeling that something was seriously wrong with his roommate. One night, Jack woke to the sound of frantic whispers coming from the living room. Heart pounding, he crept out of his room to investigate, only to find Mark hunched over a makeshift altar, surrounded by flickering candles and strange symbols drawn in blood. Frozen in terror, Jack watched as Mark muttered incoherent incantations, his eyes rolled back in his head. It was then that Jack realized the horrifying truth. His roommate was dabbling in dark magic, summoning forces beyond his control. As Jack tried to slip back to his room unnoticed, Mark's eyes snapped open, locking onto Jack with a chilling intensity. With a sinister smile, Mark whispered words that chilled Jack to the bone, words that promised death and destruction to all who stood in his way. Terrified for his life, Jack knew he had to escape before it was too late, but every attempt to leave the apartment was thwarted by Mark's increasingly erratic behavior. It was as if the apartment itself was conspiring to keep Jack trapped within its walls, at the mercy of his unhinged roommate. With no other options left, Jack reached out to the authorities, begging for help in bringing down Mark and his dark rituals. But when they arrived at the apartment, they found no trace of Mark or his sinister altar. It was as if he had vanished into thin air, leaving Jack to wonder if he had ever truly existed, or if he was just a figment of Jack's tormented imagination. Haunted by the memory of his unhinged roommate, Jack vowed to never again ignore the warning signs of danger, knowing that some nightmares are all too real. The roommate's secret. When Emma moved into her new apartment, she thought she had hit the roommate jackpot. Rachel was friendly, outgoing, and always willing to lend a helping hand. But as Emma soon discovered, some secrets are best left buried. It started innocently enough. A misplaced item here, a strange noise there. But as Emma delved deeper into Rachel's past, she uncovered a web of lies and deception that threatened to consume them both. One night, while Rachel was out of town, Emma stumbled upon a hidden compartment in her roommate's closet. Inside, she found a series of journals detailing Rachel's descent into madness, a descent fueled by obsession, paranoia, and a deep-seated desire for revenge. As Emma pored over the pages, she uncovered Rachel's darkest secret. She was responsible for the disappearance of her previous roommate, a fact that Rachel had gone to great lengths to conceal. Terrified for her safety, Emma knew she had to confront Rachel and put an end to her reign of terror once and for all. But when Rachel returned home, Emma found herself face to face with a woman on the brink of madness, a woman who would stop at nothing to protect her secrets. Trapped in a deadly game of cat and mouse, Emma fought tooth and nail to escape Rachel's clutches, knowing that her life depended on it. But as the walls closed in around her, Emma realized that some secrets are worth dying for, and that the true horror lies not in the darkness of the unknown, but in the depths of the human soul. The stories of these three roommates serve as a chilling reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones that live among us. Whether it's a haunted apartment, an unhinged roommate, or a dark secret lurking just beneath the surface, the horrors of shared living spaces can turn even the most mundane of experiences into a waking nightmare. So the next time you hear a strange noise in the night, or feel a shiver run down your spine, remember these tales of terror and tread carefully, because you never know what horrors might be lurking just beyond your roommate's door.